Hey guys! So if you follow my vlog, you probably noticed that in the last week, my last vlog on sexism and amateur radio got a lot of responses. The vlog was posted on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, QRZ, and all of these places had a decent amount of responses. So I've read through all of those responses, and I want to make this video to kind of respond to those responses and to respond to some of the things that people were saying and some of the common themes. So the first thing I noticed is that the amateur radio community is pretty divided on their definition of sexism. There were quite a few responses of people that agreed with me, people that said what I experienced was bias based off of my sex, and that falls into their category of sexism. Then we had a whole other group, and there were quite a few responses this way, saying, no, that was not sexism at all. It was bias, but it was not sexism. It would have been sexism if you were not allowed to take the test, or you were not allowed to go to the Hamfest simply because you were female. So this led me to investigating what the definition of sexism is. So for this, I went to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, which seemed like a pretty valid place to go for definitions. And here is what I found. So I really want to take a look at and focus on that second definition of sexism, which states that it is a behavior, a condition, or an attitude that fosters stereotypes of social roles based on sex. In my opinion, that's exactly what happened in those previous situations. A lot of people in their comments were saying that amateur radio is a hobby that is filled with mostly men, but they said that because of this, it is okay for a person to assume that a woman at a situation such as a Hamfest or a testing venue is not associated with ham radio, but is instead at that location for another reason, such as a husband or a significant other. If you're at an amateur radio event such as Hamvention or Hamfests or Hamtests, really the best thing to do is, if you're going to make an assumption, always assume on the side of being inclusive rather than exclusive. If you see a person at a ham event, just assume that that person is involved in the hobby. Assume that that person is licensed, regardless of their age, regardless of their gender, regardless of who they're with, until they tell you otherwise. So by turning our assumptions around to make them inclusive rather than exclusive, we won't be fostering the stereotype, and we'll be making it a lot easier for those that are outside of that stereotype to feel much more comfortable getting into the hobby. So this was the first time I had a lot of comments that disagreed with me, and I just wanted to say that I think that's great. I think the absolute best thing we can do in amateur radio is to have a conversation on controversial topics. And a lot of people made really great long comments with reasons why they disagreed with me or reasons why they agreed with me and backed up their comments. And I think that's awesome. Keep it coming. On any of my past videos, future videos, current videos, if you disagree with me or even if you do agree with me, tell me. Tell me why. I want to see it. So if you've watched this vlog before, you probably know that I am in a very different location. And that is because I've officially moved, and this is my new ham shack. So in the upcoming weeks, I'll be totally redecorating. The walls will get painted. So what I really want you guys to do is I want to see what your shacks look like. So send me some pictures. You can post them on my Facebook. You can email me at katie2gtm@gmail.com. Show me, give me some inspiration, and maybe they'll be featured in an upcoming video. So that's all I've got for today. Stay tuned for more videos in the upcoming weeks, and 73.